Veterans Group Life Insurance. What is it and why you should care? Welcome to Heritage Wealth Planning YouTube channel, my friends, the place you come to learn all things life insurance, Veterans Group Life Insurance, Soldiers Group Life Insurance, personal life insurance, term life insurance, and everything else under the sun when it comes to financial planning. We talk estate planning, investments, financial planning, cash flow, retirement planning, Social Security, Medicare, you name it, we're going to talk about it here. So if you like what you see, subscribe down below. Hit the notification bell once you do. That way you'll be notified for future content. We do an episode a day here at Heritage Wealth Planning, so you definitely want to be kept in the know. Things are changing all the time indeed. So let's jump right into it. Vgli, Veterans Group Life Insurance for short. So when I was in the Army, for instance, you have what's called Soldiers Group Life Insurance. You don't need to get underwritten. You just get it. And you can get up to $400,000. And it's without underwriting. So you could be a cigarette smoker, weigh 8,000 pounds, about to keel over from a heart attack. You get SGLI, and you have to pay some for it. I don't remember what the fees are when you're in there. It is subsidized, but you do have to pay something for it. It's not very expensive. And it is subsidized, so it's even cheaper in that regard. But you can get up to $400,000. This might be, I don't think it's changed actually, but that might change in the future how much you can get. I think it is legislative. It's got to be legislation, has got to be approved in Congress and passed by the president. I don't know that for sure, but just it's been $400,000 for a long time, and I imagine at some point it'll go up. But anyway, so when you separate from service as a military person, be it a soldier, an airman, and a sailor. What's the other? A Marine, Coast Guard. I'm not sure what they call Coast Guard. I guess that's it, right? Soldier, airman, sailor, Marine, I already said airman, Coast Guard person. I guess that's it. So once you separate from service, you don't have the SGLI. You have the Vgli, Veterans Group Life Insurance. And that's what we're talking about here today. Vgli provides lifetime coverage as long as you pay the premium. Like any insurance, it's a unilateral contract. The insurer has got to take his part of the contract, but you can drop yours at any time. So the insurer is relying on you to do your part. If you do, he has to keep his part. That's all there is to it, but you do not have to keep yours. Let's see. Veterans Group Life Insurance. You may enroll for a maximum amount of coverage that's equal to the amount of your SGLI, Service Members Group Life Insurance. It used to be servicemen's, I think, but when you had separated from service. Lesser amounts of coverage are also available in increments of $10,000. Once enrolled, you'll have the opportunity to increase your coverage by $25,000 every 5 years up to the legislated maximum of $400,000. So for that to change, the Congress has got to pass a bill and the president's got to sign. No proof of good health is required. And that's the critical thing here, my friends. No proof of good health is required. You have 1 year and 120 days from your date of separation to apply for Vgli. If you apply for coverage within 240 days of your date of separation, you will not need to answer health questions. If you have medical conditions that may make you uninsurable, you should protect yourself and apply within 240 days from separation of service. Man, I cannot stress that enough. If you have any reason whatsoever you think you won't qualify for private policy, you got 240 days from the day you ETS, what we used to call the enlistment terminated status. I don't know what they call it for other branches or if you're in the officers, but for the day you ETS, so mine was 27 February 1992. I have 240 days from the day I ETS'd in which to sign up for Vgli without having to go through any underwriting. Okay, so follow this link to learn about medical conditions that may make you uninsurable. What's the best way to find out if you can be underwritten? Go apply. Not for Vgli, you don't need to do that. You go apply for a private policy. So let's just say you ETS on 27 February 1992. Here it is, March 30th, 1992. You say, I wonder if I can get life insurance because the Vgli stuff is pretty expensive. Go ahead and apply for a policy, private policy. If you can't get it, then get on Vgli. If you can get it, well, then you probably should let Vgli drop, and I'll share with you why here in just a second. You're eligible to apply for Vgli if you had SGLI and are within 1 year and 120 days, as we talked about. Release from active duty, separation, retirement, release from assignment to the Ready Reserves and National Guard. I did not know that. So once you get out of is that the IRR? No, Ready Reserves, the Army Reserve. Okay, National, never mind. Excuse me. Yeah, IRR right there. Assignment to the IRR. This includes members of the United States. Assignment to the IRR. So You have okay. Yeah, let's see. That's what. So once you get separated from service, you go into the IRR and you have 100. Okay, so the same thing. Same thing as being released from active duty or National Guard service, placed on temporary disability, or if this includes United States Public Health Service. Okay. You also are eligible to apply for VGLI if you had a part-time SGLI and while performing duty suffered an injury or disability that rendered you uninsurable at standard premium rates. We'll talk about the cost here in just a second. Premium rates increased for VGLI insureds age 70 and older effective July 1st, 2014. We talked about the deadlines, and here's how to apply. All right, myth and rumors. There are several myths and rumors about VGLI and SGLI insurance floating around. Well, let's find out. I wasn't aware of this link, so it'll be interesting to see. Do not know what the rumors are. Payment of TSGLI, reduce the amount. No, that's not true. I knew that. TSGLI has no impact on the amount of SGLI payable. For example, if a service member is injured for $400,000, is insured for $400,000 of SGLI coverage and receives a TSGLI payment of $50,000 for traumatic injury, he will still get his $400,000 SGLI coverage. So, okay, so TSGLI and SGLI are not intertwined at all. SGLI won't pay if I die while wearing privately purchased body armor. That's not true. If you get killed, it's going to pay. Yeah, okay. SGLI won't pay if I die in a motor vehicle accident. No, that's not true. Claims are paid regardless of whether the member was not wearing a seatbelt. It won't die if I die in a motorcycle accident. Proceeds will be paid to your beneficiaries regardless of whether or not you're wearing a helmet. There's only one at drill. True or false, I'm a reservist. I heard my SGLI coverage is only good while you're at drill. If you are a reservist or a National Guard member, have been assigned to a unit in which you're scheduled to perform at least 12 periods of inactive duty that is creditable to retirement purposes, full-time SGLI coverage is in effect 365 days out of the year. So basically you're covered as long as you do your regular 1 week in a month thing. If you do that, you got SGLI. And so you could die at college where you're not even on service duty and you still get paid out. Absolutely. SGLI won't pay if I get killed by a terrorist attack. That's not true. We'll be paid. There are several war or terrorism exclusions that prevent SGLI or VGLI insurance to my beneficiary. That's not true. If VGLI or SGLI doesn't pay because of terrorism or war, what the heck? SGLI won't pay if I die in a black zone area, no-go area. No, it'll pay regardless of the location of death. I can apply for the SGLI insurance dividend based on monthly military service. Supposedly some bill was passed. Rumors that Congress approved a special dividend for veterans who do or do not have government life insurance has been spread for over 30 years. Rumors are false. Okay. All right. So that's fine. That's good. So basically what I want to talk about, though, is actually the cost for VGLI, because SGLI is good. VGLI gets pretty expensive, though. So let's go to the premium rates. So remember, you separate from service, you move from SGLI to VGLI, but the problem with that is usually when you separate from service, you're pretty young and still in pretty good health. So I separated at 22 years old. I mean, look at this. For $400,000, I got $32 a month, and I didn't have to submit myself to any underwriting at all. I mean, you just can't beat that. That's just cheap money right there for sure. But if I would have separated from service at 40 years old, my premiums would have been $68 a month. And then if I separated it's not even separating. Let's just, for example, say I was 22 years old, I took my VGLI. It's $32 a month until I'm 29. Then I'm hit 30, it's $40 a month. Then I hit 35, it's 52. Then I hit 40, it's 68, and so on. The problem with VGLI is it gets incredibly more expensive once you start getting around here, basically in the 30s to 40s and certainly in your 50s. I mean, $144 a month at 50 years old for a $400,000 life insurance is getting up there in expense, that's for sure, especially when it's only banded for every 5 years. VGLI is, like I wrote in my book, is similar to employer-sponsored insurance that you're being underwritten as if you're standard, i.e. you smoke, maybe you're overweight, have some medical issues and whatnot, and they have a banded rate. So every 5 years, it increases the premiums. So what you should do instead is, like I said, once you separate from service, you don't even have to do it while you're in service. Once you leave, because you have those a year and 120 days, 240. Well, no, 240 days, excuse me. So you can do it without underwriting. Ooh, scratch that. You have 240 days once you separate from service before you have to go through underwriting. So let's just say you're 35 years old You're like, yeah, man, $52 a month, that seems kind of high for $400,000. Well, you go to like USA or you go to some of these other firms and say, what can you give me for $400,000? That's flat. And they might say, look, we'll give you $60 a month, but we'll do it for 20 years. So now you're paying $60 a month, which is more than what you're paying here between the ages of 35 to 39, but it's a heck of a lot cheaper as you go forward. And that's what we always recommend is like, look, don't drop VGLI until you know for a fact you can be insured with a private policy that's a lot cheaper. And not just cheaper today, my friends, but cheaper in the future as well. Because we don't want you to, you can't compare VGI being cheaper today and say, oh, it's cheaper. It might be, but it might not be cheaper because the bands, every 5 years it increases dramatically. Look, 44, you're paying 68. 45, you're paying 88. That's, $20. That's 33% increase right there in 1 year difference. And the reason for that is because they do their actuary tables and they say the more likely you are to die at 45 than 44 means we're going to make it more expensive to you to carry the insurance. And so that's why I do like VGLI, but do not drop it before you get a policy to replace it with. All right, just don't. But go get a policy in order to replace it within 240 days of ETS or separating for service. So that way you can find out if you qualify for a cheaper policy, not just cheaper today, but cheaper for the duration of how long you need that life insurance. If you can't qualify, then keep VGLI because having insurance is incredibly important. If you can qualify, I'd drop like a brick. Absolutely. I say I'm done. And then I'd go to my private policy because it'll be a whole lot cheaper in the long run. So VGLI, I'll put the link here, is benefits.va.gov. Benefits.va.gov is the for Veterans Group Life Insurance that you definitely want to look into. And the SGLI is a slam dunk. Anytime you can get it subsidized from your employer, you should definitely keep that for sure. So hope this helps. If you like what you see here about Veterans Group Life Insurance or you have questions on it, put notes in the put comments in the show notes down there. I'll put a link to this 2 pages on the show notes. Thumbs up, always helpful, my friends. Thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe right down there, that red button that says, very inconspicuous, that says subscribe. And as always, don't forget to hit the notification bell to be notified for future content. The blog is at heritagewealthplanning.com, heritagewealthplanning.com. So go there and see the podcasts, the videos, and other blog posts I put as well. We'll see you next time. Thanks, guys.